We are covering Week 3 in the NFL here at SBR Foreign Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking with Dave Golokhov, senior sports columnist for AskMen.com. And Dave, the second game that you wanted to talk about this week is the Niners at Minnesota. Now, the Niners, of course, are awesome. Very, very, very impressive team this year. They have a very efficient operation on offense. They won both of their games. They looked stronger, but they didn't blow anyone out. They won both of them by 8. This one, though, they're going on the road. They're going into a dome. They're a 7-point road favorite. Peterson is coming back, and he's looking pretty good for Minnesota. My lean, as of right now, is to take Minnesota plus the points, even though I do understand that's going against San Francisco, one of the most impressive, maybe the most impressive team in the NFL this year. What do you like here?
I like San Francisco, and I think this is going to be a popular play for teasers. I think a lot of people are going to probably tease San Francisco down to a pick or maybe one, anything under a field goal, and take them on the road. I like them minus the 7 points. I'm really just going with the theory here that the team that wins usually covers the spread, and I don't think they'll have much issue covering the spread in this spot. Peter, you look across the NFC. The San Francisco is the only team that A, has a quality running game, and B, has an awesome defense.
Yeah.
Look at all the other contenders. The Giants, their defense continuously gets shredded, and they don't have a running game. The Cowboys can't run the ball. Their defense got shredded last week. Green Bay has no running game. Their defense is a question mark. Detroit is the same thing. Chicago's the same thing. New Orleans is the same thing. San Francisco, believe it or not, is not only the best team in the NFC, but probably the best team in the NFL. And I think they're just being undervalued in the early part of the season. People still skeptical of this offense. People still skeptical of Alex Smith. But listen, he's now doing what he did at Utah. He never was a great downfield passer. He never did a lot of, these bomb throws and explosive plays. He was an efficient, high completion percentage quarterback. That's what he's doing. And as long as San Francisco can run the ball, keep the chains moving, and play good defense, I don't see how Minnesota covers this spread. Minnesota struggled with Indianapolis.
Yes.
They struggled with Jacksonville. I think they're going to have a really tough time with San Francisco.
Yeah, obviously, look, their O-line couldn't block against the Colts, and obviously San Francisco has a much better run D. I am completely agreeing with you on how awesome San Francisco is, but they're not really built for blowouts. I mean, both their wins this year came by 8 points. Now they're going into a dome. Minnesota does have playmakers. Harvin is good. I'm just thinking that, this is one of those games where if I had to bet a money line, I probably would take San Francisco. But, they're not a team that gets these huge wins with an explosive offense on the road into a dome. They're kind of a team built for outdoor play more. That doesn't scare you at all? Nothing of what I just said rings any bells in your head.
It does. I think a lot of those things that you're saying, though, are about the old 49ers teams. I think this team is different. I truly do, and that's why I say they're undervalued. I think if you got, let's say, Green Bay, let's say New England in this spot, you're laying at least 10 points in Minnesota. Well, maybe not Green Bay, but New England's probably laying 10 points in Minnesota. Minnesota barely beat Jacksonville in Week 1. Jacksonville got smoked by an elite team in Houston at home last week. Minnesota also couldn't beat Indianapolis on the road. Indianapolis's makeshift offense scored 23 points. San Francisco should be able to score 20 plus in this game, no problem. And I just don't think Minnesota can get more than 2 touchdowns, if that, against the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, I could easily see looking up, 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, San Francisco 27-6. I could totally see that. I see where you're coming from. It'll be an interesting game. We'll see how it turns out. Thanks, Dave.